All right. And we are live for another episode of the Cash Physical Therapy Headquarters podcast. Let's get this live in the Cash Physical Therapy Headquarters Facebook group. Excellent. And we're good. Today, we're going to be talking about how to rank number one in your local area for search engines like Google, on Bing, or even ChatGPT. The rules for local search have changed tremendously over the last 12 months. And we have realized this more and more because we used to do local SEO as a done-for-you service for clinics. We did that for years. And now this year, Ben, you've gone through and you've completely revamped everything because you were working with agencies who were doing your SEO for you. They weren't really getting the job done. And then that kind of forced us to dive into what's actually working today, what's moving the needle, how do we outrank our competitors so we stop losing patients to them. So in this episode, we're going to talk about all of the changes, what you should be doing differently with your Google business profile and with the content on your website to make sure that we're gaining consistent traffic from people looking for your services right now. What's up, Ben?
How much? I'm excited about this because this is probably top 3 reason that we've grown and scaled to where we have today.
Yeah.
It's because of our organic ranking on SEO and how high we show up on Google Maps. So a lot to talk about, and it's a very important topic that people know is important. They really don't know how to go about improving. They just hire some shit agency that doesn't know what they're doing.
Right, they're going to write some blogs for you, do some on-site SEO, whatever the hell that means, and they don't tell you what it. Yeah. Or they're going to give you a report at the end of the month and tell you, hey, things are going really, really good. We increased this search term by 25 rankings, and it's like some search term that would never lead to an actual booked.
Right. It's like, well, yeah, we got you ranking higher for back pain physical therapy services in a city not even close to you.
Right.
And it's only if they search it at 10 o'clock p.m. on a Saturday night. It's just like, there's like, I want to be like, what is the search volume on this? Like, ranking, but how many impressions is this actually making?
Right. Or it increased your ranking by 20 spots for TheraBands. It's like, what does that do for me?
Right. Yeah. You went from 200 to 150.
Right. It's crazy. It's so easy for SEO experts to sound like they know what they're talking about because it's really kind of confusing, kind of techie jargon. And it causes most practice owners just to tune out and just be like, okay, like I trust you, just take care of it. Never realizing it's like every single year, especially with AI, things are getting easier and easier and easier for business owners to actually do it. And now, Ben took his SEO in-house, just like he did with his Facebook ads and his Google ads back in the day. And now, I saw your Google Map Pack rankings, and you were number one easily within a 5 to 8 mile radius around your location, which is absolutely incredible.
Yeah, we've monopolized Oakland.
Yeah, right. And it's kind of funny because even when I come to visit you in San Diego, when I was there for a couple months, every single day I was getting hammered by ProKinetics ads and still getting recommended on Google Maps to show up for your ProKinetics within your San Diego location. So it's a huge, huge impact. And it's ridiculous how much reach you have. It's actually kind of funny how often I'd be seeing you pop up while I was there.
Yeah. San Diego's not too far from behind on Oakland too, on the omnipresence. So
right. So let's talk about it. So when it comes to SEO, we've thrown out a few things: the Google Map Pack, Google Business Profile. So just so that you are aware, everyone needs to have what's called a Google Business Profile. This is basically your listing that gets you accepted into Google's Rolodex of businesses. If you do not have a Google Business Profile, you will not show up when people look for physical therapy near me, in a certain town, or on Google Maps. And so it is absolutely essential. That is kind of the prerequisite to implementing the things that we're going to be talking about here on today's podcast. So Ben, tell us about what you were doing with the agency and why you decided to take it in-house.
Yeah, I've worked with like literally over 5 agencies, and they're all dog shit. All right. So maybe that says more about me and my selection of agency. I haven't had good results with agencies. I have yet to really hear anybody having a great result with agencies, and would say nothing against agencies, but against agencies. It's just I haven't had great results with it. It's just they don't rank you for what is really important. And for me, the words that are most important to rank for are physical therapy near me, physical therapy city names, so like physical therapy Oakland. I want to rank for sports physical therapy. I don't really care about ranking for back pain solutions. We want high intent people looking for physical therapy. And so that's what we want to rank for. The other thing about agencies too is we had our website designed and it's perfect. It's a very high converting website. You've got to find the balance between SEO optimization and also usability on your website.
Yeah.
So if you just keyword stuff, what you want to rank from, it's not going to resonate with your reader and people aren't going to opt in. So yeah, you might have increased traffic, but it's not optinable. I don't know if that's the right word, but it's not.
Yeah, that's point that.
So people are opting in. So the big thing is like, you've got to find that balance with it too. So
right.
We had a really good website and then they started changing all these, like optimizing for these different keywords. And then our optimization and opt-in rate for the website decreased, right? So you have to find that balance of it too. Because again, SEO only cares about traffic. They don't care about actually opt-ins per se. So you have to know what they're, and then the website people, they don't really necessarily care about SEO as much. They just want to make sure that your website looks good.
Yep.
And increases opt-ins too. So there's a balance with that. So I took everything in house as of about 9 months ago and learned way more about SEO than I ever wanted to learn. But it is really nice to have that knowledge and just know that we're not dishing out $700 a month
right
for an SEO company that's not doing what it needs to be.
It's not complicated. It's really easy to systematize this stuff. So it's funny because the rules for SEO have completely changed since we ran our SEO agency, which was probably like 3 years ago at this point. But the main differences between then and now is Google's transition away from like volume and focusing more around value. They want to push valuable content, not just what SEO agencies do, where they'll just write a million blogs about back pain, for example, just to help you rank for the keyword back pain. Because now it's not about how many times does back pain get referenced on your website. Now it's how valuable was the information about back pain on your website. And so a big difference that they have in 2025 is that they actually incorporate an AI overview on top of their traditional ranking system, which has always been about relevance, distance, and prominence to the person, or proximity to the person actually making the search. But now they overlaid AI on top of that, so they can look through, okay, here are all the pages about back pain that might be relevant to this person. How helpful actually is this information? And so now, as you're saying, the key is finding the balance between having an SEO optimized website for these keywords, but also keeping it from turning into blocks and blocks of text that make it less user friendly. And so now it's actually, you don't need to do that. You don't need walls of text. You just need to answer the most frequently asked questions that people are likely typing into search engines regarding the thing that you're actually helping them with. And so the more helpful that information is, and how concisely it can actually deliver that, the more likely you're actually going to start to climb in the rankings on that, which I think is really nice. Because how many people have just been punching out blogs or ChatGPT blogs just because they think it's actually going to help their SEO ranking?
Yeah.
That's what most SEO agencies do.
Yeah. It just doesn't move the needle much anymore too.
Right. And so they actually came out with a report that said that they're cracking down on low quality content and information. They actually 45% of pages are not showing up on Google or getting ranked or listed at all because they are just deemed not high enough quality. Yeah, they cut 40 to 45% of low quality, unoriginal content. And so if you had some random person build your website and all the content is very templated and it's not your own, or it's too similar to content that's already out there, it's not going to help your business at all. And so I think it actually kind of is an argument for taking some of your marketing in-house, because your SEO company isn't going to know the nuanced details of not only the patient goals and fears and problems that they're dealing with, but also your special sauce and how you help them move away from the pain and move towards, the goals that they actually have.
Yep. I think it's much needed. It's much needed. And I think it's also one thing that was really confusing for me when I first started out, was knowing that there's two different types of SEO per se. So there's Google My Business. You have your Google My Business profile
now.
Yep. So your Google Maps. Okay. So Google Maps, and then you have SEO.
Yeah.
SEO is like your search engine ranking for rank position. I think that's what.
Yeah. Search engine. Yeah.
Yeah. So you have those two are separate. They do influence one another, but just by increasing your SEO is not going to necessarily bump your Google My Business page as much. So you need to make sure the number one thing that's actually more important than for SEO than I'd rather have a high ranking Google My Business page than great SEO. The great thing is you have much more control over your ranking for Google My Business than you do SEO.
Yep.
So when it comes to Google My Business, the number one thing you can do is collect reviews. Have a systematized way to collect Google reviews. That is the number one factor that's going to rank you higher. Okay. Another one is make sure that your entire profile is built out and complete. Are your hours filled in?
Yeah.
Okay. Filling it out completely, your address, your phone number,
the service pages,
your service pages, your photos,
yep.
updates, making sure everything is completely filled out is probably the second biggest factor. Third is making sure that you are listed on all their platforms. So your NAP, your name, address, and phone number are consistent across all platforms. Yep. So there's something to be said about Google looks at the authority. So authority is how many times your NAP, your name, address, and phone number is listed across all these different platforms. Yep. Like Jordan mentioned Bing earlier. Foursquare. Nobody uses Foursquare anymore, but it has a high authority ranking in the eyes of Google. So being listed on Foursquare, even though that's not going to drive traffic, it builds authority with Google, which boosts your SEO and boosts your Google My Business page. So you can use like platforms like Bright Local is what I use. You can have them mass send out your listings of your name, address, and phone number across all these sites, like 75 sites. I think it's like $350. Yep. But now because you are your name, address, and phone number is consistently posted on all these platforms, Google sees that in their eyes that you're a legit business, and it boosts the authority that you have with Google, and yep. You're in good graces with Google. And so your ranking is going to boost up, right? So making sure that you're also consistent, not just post on there, but your name, address, and phone number are in the exact same format on all these platforms. So like we have ProConnects Physical Therapy and Performance. I fucked myself over in the beginning because some listings had just ProKinetics. Some had ProKinetics Physical Therapy and Performance. Yep. Some had my personal number when I first started. Some had my business number. And because that wasn't consistent, that was decreasing my ranking in Google. So got that cleaned up, making sure that was consistently posted across platforms. So what do you see with that?
Yeah, no, I mean, NAP errors are huge, and everyone, because no one takes their SEO like seriously. They kind of do it in like spurts of like, hey, I have some admin time and I've been meaning to get to this, and they're just going to spend 3 hours YouTubing SEO. They're going to punch out a bunch of stuff, and then they do that maybe like once every 2 years. And the result is you have all of this old, outdated information floating around, and it throws what's called a NAP error, name, address, phone number. And the more NAP errors you have, the less authority you have. And so it's going to hurt your ranking across the board. But yeah, I think it's worth signing up for a service, paying the $300, getting all of your business listings and citations out there. Because as you said, the Google Map Pack, that's like the easiest thing to rank for, hands down. For those of you that don't know, when you do a search on Google, that first box that you get that has like the Google Maps and then 3 to 4 business listings on there, that's the Google Map Pack. And that's a vast majority of all of the traffic goes there because it's perceived as more trustworthy, because it's based around, as you're kind of alluding to, it's a popularity contest. It's based around the relevance of the search query that they typed in, based around how many other business listings around there trust this brand or at least have their citations on there. And then it's all about reviews. And so optimizing for that is worth way more effort than trying to optimize the rest of your website. I would probably focus exclusively on the map back until before you start working like on the content within your website, which does impact your ranking on there as well. But let's you mentioned that reviews are the most important. There are two other categories that are higher ranking factors. There's just less you can do with them. So just to cover those real quick, it's number one, your business category. Now, Ben, you mentioned that there's a couple different categories on there. Would you mind just kind of explaining that in a little bit more detail? Because there's physical therapy clinic, there's physical therapy, physical therapist, back pain specialist. There's all these different categories on there. How do you choose the right one?
Yep. So you can go. There's a tool within Google that you can see what is the category that's going to allow you to rank highest, and what not rank highest, but what has the most impressions, and what are most people searching for. So physical therapy clinic, like Jordan just said, there's physical therapy clinic, there's physical therapist, there's like gym, there's like sports medicine, there's like sports medicine clinic, there's like physicians, gym, there's personal trainer. There's so many things. So what I was going back and forth was, my hypothesis was physical therapy clinic and physical therapist are going to be the two best. That's the most accurate, right?
Yep.
Now I went into a tool that Google has to look at what of those two has what are most people searching for and most impressions. It's physical therapy clinic. So our number one category is physical therapy clinic. Number two is physical therapist. Third, I think, is like sports medicine. Yep. And then fourth is like gym, personal trainer, stuff like that. So just from ranked of importance on accuracy to also search volume. So make sure that you're listed as physical therapy clinic, not physical therapist. You will get a bump there.
Right. And check it out because it does vary from area to area. So there's a plugin that you can add to Chrome or Safari called Keywords Everywhere. And it allows you to, when you do a search query, that plugin will automatically update the search listings to show you like what are the categories that your competitors are ranking for, what are their secondary and third categories, as well as a lot of other detail that's going to help you determine what keywords and categories you should set and choose to start to rank and optimize for. Really handy tool, definitely worth checking out. So business category, insanely important. That's actually the second most important ranking factor. Number one is the name. Now, when people come to us and they're just starting their practice and they don't know what to name it, I always tell them, like, don't get fancy. Like, is your city name physical therapy open? Because it's worth it. Your name is the number one rank factor in how you show up on search results. So if you can put, Milwaukee or your city name in physical therapy or whatever kind of clinic you are in your name, it is going to have a substantial impact on your rank. Now, some people will tell you to just put it in there. Maybe I'll use Will's practice, the movement shop. Nothing helping him SEO wise in that name, right? But maybe at the end of his business listing, someone may tell him, like, okay, just add your city name and physical therapy to the end of that. That does go against Google's policies, but I've had a lot of experts in SEO say it's like that never gets pinged, even if you get reported, like it won't take it down. But it's also a pretty damn high risk because Ben, like it's probably like 60-75% of your traffic these days. Probably not worth it. Do you slip Oakland into your Google business profile name?
So I don't for Oakland because you nailed it on top of the head. We're already ranked number one. There's no upside to doing it. So and when you're choosing your name, choose having the words physical therapy in your name.
Yeah.
Okay. That's what people are searching for. It's going to rank higher. So that's why I chose ProConnect's physical therapy and performance. I wanted physical therapy in there. Okay. Yeah. So Oakland, we do not, but San Diego, we do. So when we moved to downtown and we weren't getting a whole lot of traffic before we moved, because we're in North County, but we moved to downtown. Now it's ProConnect's physical therapy and performance San Diego. So what I had to do though, is that changed my name.
DBA?
No, it didn't change my name in that sense, but the NAP. I had to go in and update all of our NAPs. on all these other platforms, because it used to be ProConnect's Physical Therapy Informants.
Yep.
Now it added Dash San Diego. Now it has to be Dash San Diego on all these other platforms. So I spent another $300 to get everything updated again on it. But yeah, that's to Jordan's, your point is, if you can put the city name in there, it works. And we were able to get by with that with Google, because we have multiple locations too. It's like, hey, we got to distinguish which location is. That's why we need to put Dash San Diego in it.
Right. So that you're taking a risk by doing that. Everyone is, but very few people actually get busted for it. Like, you go and search physical therapy in your town, you're going to see like several people are breaking that rule. So it's kind of like, roll the dice. But if you want to like really protect yourself, just file a DBA with your state. As long as you can, when you list it, you can dispute it if you ever get in trouble. It's like, no, I have a doing business as this. And now it's legally, you do pass their rules and regulations around that. So those are the first two most important ranking factors. It's your name and then your primary category. Now, number 3 is your reviews. Now, the rules on reviews have changed a lot. There's actually some really crazy data that I found where people do not use and trust reviews the way that they used to. And so it used to be where people thought of Google reviews as a personal referral, a personal recommendation from another person on the internet. And 84% of people felt like it was a genuine, authentic referral, basically, back in 2016 and 2017. But today in 2025, only 42% of people feel like a Google review is a personal recommendation. That's not how people are using reviews anymore. Now it's more about what recently happened that I can relate to. That's going to build my trust in this brand, because it's not enough to have reviews. Everyone has reviews. Now it's, okay, it worked for them. Will it work for me? And so the words and what we're actually putting in the reviews and the recency of those reviews is more important than anything. And so that's because before, if you're a business that was around for 10 years, you have 300 Google reviews, and then there's a newer business that's way better, way higher quality that just gets started. They were always getting outranked by this older business because of the volume of reviews. And so they flipped their equation to now it's about frequency and quality of reviews, so that it's an even playing field for new and older businesses.
Yep. And then also using if you got a patient that you're close with, asking them to also include the city name in the review. Like, they're the best physical therapist in there. Yeah. They're the best physical therapist in Oakland, right? Right. So I would tell them to do that as well, to rank higher on that.
Absolutely. And stop being so dang passive about it. Like, everyone's so nervous and shy about asking for reviews. It's like, do you want to help people? Because the difference between you being able to help just a few people and your entire city is how confidently and consistently you feel when asking people for reviews. And the less reviews you have, the more you have to invest into other marketing, which means the less time you have to focus on actually working and treating with patients, because now you have to develop all these marketing skills.
Yep. We have I looked at this before we hopped on here. We have over 750 5-star reviews across all locations. It's because we're not afraid to ask. Like, we know we do great work, and we know it's our ethical obligation to get the word out as much as possible.
Yep.
And so we ask every single patient that we get good results with, or just a small win. Doesn't have to be at the end of the plan of care. It's like when they get their first big win.
Right. So, yeah. Right. And so priority number 1, after you have your name, your category, ask for reviews like crazy, and don't be afraid to like give them instructions on how to leave that review. Like, we've built in automated systems for some clinics where, after their 3rd or 4th visit, they get a certain tag and it sends them a campaign asking them, how would you rate your service with us, through an NPS score, a net promoter score, which ranks, on a scale of 1 to 10, how likely are you to refer us to a friend or family member? And then those who give an 8 and above, they automatically receive a different email and a text that asks them to share their story on Google, and then also gives them like make sure to include like the city name that we're in and the service that you used with us in that review, and gives them like instruction for that review. So now they're like getting a lot more reviews. People have instruction on what to give them. But as Ben knows, in-person requests is always better than an automation. So make sure you're asking your patients for those reviews and making sure that you're giving them some instruction on what to put in that review.
Yep. Make it easy. We send out an email after we ask somebody in person to leave a review. We send them an email with the links to both Google and Yelp. Just like, hey, can you copy and paste into both?
Right. Easy. And then something else that the CEO of Google recently said, where if you are going to be to optimize effectively on the Google Map Pack and to rank, you want to make sure that you're also posting on a weekly basis. Any post that you make that's over a week long isn't going to show up natively in your actual listing. And so once it becomes too old and no longer relevant, it's not going to show up on your listing. Or if you're posting relevant content that answers frequently asked questions that people are searching for, it's going to show within that listing, and it's going to increase the surface area and take up more real estate, making it stand out, increasing your click-through rate from your listing to your websites. So that's another recommendation that we have to make sure that you're on top of.
Yep. Love that. You want to talk about on-page SEO?
Yes, I do. And the perfect segue to transition into that is on your Google business listing. One of the things that it asks for is your services. Okay, fill that out in its entirety. Now, a lot of you on your current website, you have one page that lists out your services. And that means one page listed on your Google business profile for all of your services. This is going to hurt your ranking because your relevance score is going to be low. But if you have a unique page with relevant and helpful information for each one of those services linked within that profile, that is actually going to help your ranking even more. So make sure that you list out all your services and list those to unique, valuable pages within your website. Perfect segue. What do you got, Ben, for on-site SEO?
Yeah, so there's H1, H2, H3, H4, H5 headers. So this tells Google pretty much the ranking of importance of like, hey, how is your website structured? What is the most important things on your website? So on your homepage, what you want to put on there is physical therapy in, like for us, it's physical therapy in Oakland.
Right.
And then we have our the name of the practice, ProKinetics. So it's like physical therapy in Oakland, ProKinetics physical therapy. It's like ProKinetics physical therapy performance, physical therapy in Oakland. Mm-hmm. That's our H1 header. So I want to rank for people searching for physical therapy in Oakland and physical therapy near me. So those are the most. I've done a lot of talking with ChatGPT and SEO and like researching across the board. That would be what I would recommend. That's exactly what I do for H1 headers. H2 headers are important too. H3 are important, but nailing your H1 header is super important for ranking. So
yeah, you basically want to make sure that your H1 tags are in alignment with the business category that you're ranking for, your primary category. Then H2's secondary category. H3's, now we're getting more specific as we go down, where it's like, okay, maybe this is a page about back pain, and now your H4 tag is something like the actual query or question that people are searching for on search engines. And so it's like a layered structure of helping Google understand what your page and what your website's actually about, and helps it index it better, so that when someone's looking for something, it makes it even more likely that your page is going to get recommended for it. Now, what we're talking about is what SEO specialists call metadata. And so if you hear someone talking about metadata and it's like, oh, I'm going to do your on-site SEO and update like your metadata, that's what we're talking about. And now if you have a website that's built on WordPress or Wix or High Level, there are really, really easy tools that are built into that to make editing and updating your metadata very, very simple. You don't need to pay a super expensive person to do this, although at a certain point, maybe it's worth having someone in there. But once you get it set up, as long as you're checking in on it periodically, you shouldn't have to change and update your metadata very often, only when you publish and launch new pages.
Yep, exactly. Yep.
Any other insights on things you've been doing for on-site SEO?
Yeah, another one we did is on our frequently asked questions. So first of all, I'm not going to go into super in detail with this. Do not put your cost or your insurance information or that you're out network on your frequently asked question. Do not put it on your website. Stupid. If you want more leads,
do a business profile listing.
Yes, don't put it
You
anywhere.
don't need $5 signs next to your business listing like a restaurant.
You're going to get price shopped. And yeah, so just don't do that. Biggest mistake, one of the top 3 biggest mistakes I see people make in cash base is putting anything about insurance or cost on there. You're decreasing your lead gen. I promise you. But for frequently asked questions, something we did is we updated our frequently asked questions, and it's like, what areas do you serve? And so keyword stuff the shit out of that, where it's like, we serve Berkeley, Oakland, Alameda, Jack London Square, all these common areas around the Oakland area and specific parts to increase SEO on that. Also, it's like parking directions. Great, you can find your physical therapy clinic here at our address of X. So including our address in there and keywords for ranking for physical therapy, and that area is good. So get creative on that if you guys want. You can steal what I'm doing on my website. It's public knowledge. You can go to our frequently asked questions and see how we're going about doing that. But we're using our frequently asked questions to also rank higher while also delivering. Again, you got to find that balance of keyword stuffing versus actually providing value. You got to make sure that when you are giving your driving directions, stuff like that, parking directions, that is useful information for them.
Yep. There's a ton of tools out there. You want to not just use like the keyword that you're trying to rank for, but also the actual search queries, the search terms that people are typing in when they're looking for your services. So when you do your FAQs, yes, what areas do we serve? That's great because that's going to boost your local SEO for those areas, but also make sure your FAQs are actually the FAQs written in the way that people are asking them, because the stronger the match, if you can hit an exact match with what people are searching for and what you actually answer, the better it's going to show up, the more relevant it's going to be, more helpful it's going to be, better you're going to rank. So don't just ask the questions that you as the business owner are pretending and hoping people ask. It's like that, don't make it a leading question. Answer a real freaking question.
Yep, exactly. I like that. Another one too, this might not be super applicable to people just starting out, but I'm telling this story because the incompetencies I've seen with SEO companies. So we have multiple locations. So we had our homepage, and they were trying to rank for physical therapy in Oakland, Des Moines, and San Diego, all 3. Then we had 3 separate pages for it. So we had our Oakland physical therapy page, our San Diego page, and then our Des Moines page. And then we had our homepage, which they were trying to rank for all those keywords. So our pages were actually competing against the homepage. So nothing was getting ranked. We were like at 11, or like I had 1 at 11. Like our homepage was ranked at 11, and then our Oakland page was ranked at like 13. And it's because they were competing against one another. There's a setting in there that I had to go in and put like a redirect, like, hey, if somebody's searching for physical therapy Oakland, this is a relevant page. Don't rank our homepage.
Right.
Here's our Oakland page. But it's just like, I'm not an SEO expert. It's just me going on ChatGPT and giving it tons of information, asking questions, learning more. It's like, how did this SEO expert, like multiple experts, this one just one, hired multiple companies, how was this never caught? It's like that was the issue, a big issue. And our rankings are higher with me running our SEO as not an SEO expert than any SEO agency.
And that's the thing. I mean, that's kind of like the whole reason Clinical Marketer exists, because it's like SEO especially is probably like the biggest culprit of this, where it's like what's confusing and people, and especially clinicians, don't feel like they have time to learn, is really, really easy just to sell to people and have them just forget about it and do the bare minimum and just scrape by with that. You see it all the time with SEO and Google ads. Facebook ads, it's a little bit harder on, just because it's like, it's harder to say, it's like, yeah, there's a return. Like, it's harder to justify vanity metrics compared to SEO and with Google, right? And so what? You spent a couple months, 2-3 months getting yourself like familiar with it, and then it's like, great, now it's done.
Yeah, that's good. Now that on-page stuff is done. It doesn't need to be updated or anything like that. And So that's, yeah, it's been a game changer. Just learning it.
Right. Just take the time to do it. So then no one can take advantage of you because it's so easy to do it. It's so easy to take advantage. And in order for them to do this basic stuff, they would have upgraded you to a much bigger package when all you had to do was like an hour of work to make sure that the necessary pages weren't competing against each other.
Yeah, exactly. And another thing too is like they don't know your business as good as you do. Like they had like on our website, like you can learn more about our pain management physical therapy clinic here. Like we're not a pain management physical therapy clinic, right? So, but they don't know that, like they don't understand it, and so you're gonna get this BS words that are gonna turn off your reader that actually don't have anything to do with it. So it was really frustrating to see that. It's just like,
yeah, right. Other things that you can do that are easy, and we'll wrap it up here, is add an actual embed. Get the embed widget for adding your Google Maps listing in the page itself. It adds the location and the address again into the metadata, but also because you are embedding a Google-owned product into your website, it causes Google to automatically index the page that it's on. So if you embed the Google Maps widget into a page, or you embed a YouTube video into the page, because Google owns YouTube, anytime you're embedding a Google product into a web page, Google automatically indexes it to make sure that it's complying with their policies. And so a lot of people have great websites that aren't ranking because none of their pages are actually being indexed because they don't have any metadata, and because you haven't done something that's going to get Google to actually index that site.
Right.
So easy cheat code.
Yep, that's a good one. That's a big one.
Yeah, I think we covered all of the main bases. So optimize the name of your business if you're just starting out for the search terms you want people to find. Choose the right category. Use tools like keyword. Forgetting the name of it. Keywords everywhere. Yep, keywords everywhere to hunt and look at what your competitors are actually doing. Focus on getting reviews. Ask for them all the time so that you can get to the place where you're like Ben, where you're doing close to $300,000 a month in your practice, and 80% of that traffic is coming directly from Google. So he doesn't have to spend, you still outspend everyone in Facebook ads at this point. But relative to your volume, not a big portion of your revenue is being reinvested into marketing, right? So focus on that. Build out the entire Google business profile section, every single thing, each service area linked to a different page with relevant, helpful information, answering the most frequently asked questions from people on search engines. And if you can do those things, AI and ChatGPT, those are the things that they index. The Google Map Pack, it indexes, as well as Bing, its primary search engine partner. So if you're not listed on Bing, Yelp, and have all these citations mapped with no NAP errors, name, address, and phone number, you're also not going to rank on AI. So if you focus on building your citations, focus on expanding your Google business profile listing, and post on a weekly basis, you're going to drive way more traffic to your website. And once you have that good volume of traffic, we'll now focus on creating as relevant and helpful and concise information possible based off of the research you've done into the questions and queries that people are putting into Google about the services you offer. If you can do all of those things, you're going to crush it.
Yep. 100%.
Did I miss any? That's a pretty good recap, I think.
Yeah, no, it's also don't want to overwhelm too. Like focus on the biggest movers and you can refine. So
That's right. Good point. All right, everybody. Thanks for listening and tuning into this episode of the Cash Physical Therapy Headquarters podcast. As always, if you want to grow and scale your practice faster, if you need help getting your practice off the ground, or you've reached a point where you hit a ceiling and you're not sure how to grow beyond it and start to get your time back so you can start enjoying your life and enjoying the management of your business, go to clinicalmarketer.com and apply to work with us to see what it might look like for Ben and I to partner with you to help